Last season, the Blaine Bengals, dominant in the regular year, advanced all the way to the 5-2-8 title game. Bryce Brodzinski, Carson Rickles leading them to the title in the state tournament. This year, both teams, Maple Grove and Blaine, in this rematch have 19 victories as they meet once again at Aldrich Arena. Same thing at stake. 5th time since 2010 they will decide the Section 5 champs between the two of them, and it's all next tonight on North Metro TV. Tonight, our cameras turn on Aldrich Arena, the site of the 5-2-8 championship game between the Maple Grove Crimson and the Blaine Bengals. The 1 seed and the 2 seed squaring off a second straight year. These two teams will battle at Aldrich. Good evening, J.W. Cox alongside Nick Walsh. And Nick, tonight we'll get a lesson in the fact that rivalries, they don't depend on just zip code, they depend on sharing a history in a big game like this.
Yeah, absolutely. As we've talked about throughout this season, these two teams have gotten to know each other, obviously, in the regular season, but they've also had a playoff pedigree. And so tonight, another round between the Maple Grove Crimson and the Blaine Bengals, this time here in the section championship game.
You look at the route that these two teams took to get to the title game. Both teams big shutout wins in their quarterfinal games. Bengals sneak past Totino Grace. Maple Grove scores the final 4 goals in a 4-1 win in the semifinals. And now we go by the chalk to number 1 versus number 2. All season long for this number 1 seed, Nick, it's been Carson Rickles who has led the way. With that, he's got a nod as a potential Mr. Hockey. He's only looking for one more piece to that resume, and that would be a playoff goal.
Yeah, he's on his way to the University of New Hampshire after this season, but still looking for that first goal in the postseason. Had 27 of them in the regular season, but has yet to light the lamp here in postseason play.
It wasn't just Rickles, but the entire Bengal offense that was stymied by Totino Grace on Saturday. They'll have to be much crisper here tonight against Maple Grove.
Yeah, this is the second game in a row that they played Totino Grace close. They beat Totino 7-6 in the regular season. This time a much different game, a very tight, close defensive battle, but they did get one single goal. That came from Cole Hansen.
Cole Hansen, he's been the running mate for Rickles all season long and got them the one trickle-it-in goal that they needed. He's been able to put up points over the last 9 games, and they'll need him to do that again.
Yeah, this is their leading scorer in the season, 24 goals in the regular season, 58 points. This number 1 line extremely important for Blaine. If they're going to win tonight, they're going to have to get production from this line of Hansen and Rickles particularly.
It will be meeting number 3, as we mentioned, between these two teams, and you and I both know that's always tough to beat a team a 3rd straight time. Bengals have beaten Maple Grove 4 straight times going back a couple of years. It's a tough matchup against a team that battled early against Centennial, but showed why they're a top-scoring team with 4 goals in their semifinal game.
Yeah, Maple Grove able to knock off Centennial by a final score of 4-1, and it was Chris Kernan leading the way, picked up his first career hat trick. He only had 7 goals in the regular season, but came up big in some of the biggest times of his career. Picks up the Hattie as they move on, 4-1.
Tyler Oakland had the other goal in that game for the Crimson. But Kernan, to dig a little deeper, that's the type of performance from a junior that just springs up here in the section tournament that can propel you to a state tournament run.
Yeah, that's what's great about these section and state tournaments is that you just never know exactly where you're going to get it from. It could be a goaltender, could be a 3rd line player. It's going to be great, and we're going to find out who the hero is going to be coming up in just a bit.
These two teams meeting back-to-back years in this game. These two teams meeting 5 times since 2010 in this section title game. They're 4-4 in section play against one another since 2010. Someone will break that deadlock and punch a ticket to state tonight right here on North Metro TV.
Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So when you drill, show everyone 2 ways out of the house, pick a safe meeting spot, and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year. You can even make them fun. So everyone knows the sound and exactly what to do when they hear a smoke alarm. Go to ready.gov/fire drill and learn how to prepare your family for home fires.
Now give him 2 claps and a Ric Flair! Woo!
With you once again at Aldrich Arena, the site of the 5-2A championship game between the Blaine Bengals and the Maple Grove Crimson. Head coach Chris Carroll for the Bengals, bringing them back here for a second straight season, looking for back-to-back section titles and the 6th overall for the Bengal program. We talked to him before this game about his expectations.
You know, obviously our offense was a little bit limited, but I thought we defended well, and certainly when you get in the playoffs in the section tournament, you know you want to be playing good defense. So a little bit of that, and hopefully we can cash in on some of our looks too. But you know, we'll just continue to defend and defend the way we did in those first 2 games.
Ryan Wallen has been the guy for him this year, the sophomore. And Coach Carroll knows that defense and goaltending will take you far. But Nick, he can say that, but they're a team that wins with scoring some goals, and they'll want to be more crisp on offense here, certainly early.
Wallen has been tremendous through 2 games, 38 saves and 38 chances, but they're probably going to need more than the 1 goal they got in their semifinal win over Totino Grace.
We are underway from Aldrich for the 5th time since 2010. It'll be either the Bengals or the Crimson that come away as Section 5-2A champs. And a hand pass over there at neutral ice will bring us into the Bengals zone for the first time. You look at the Ryan Wallen numbers, 16-5 in the overall this season. No goals allowed. As Nick mentioned, those 38 saves and the 2 shutouts. 7-0, 1-0. Bengals trying to dump it out of their end, and they do so, clearing it down. They look up ahead and have Cole Hansen streaking ahead. That front line still out there just over 30 seconds into this game as Maple Grove brings it back, trying to knife through neutral ice, but the Bengals pin it up on that far side. They allow just 2.5 goals per game while scoring 5 goals per contest to the Bengals. 4.5 goals per game, second most to the Bengals in Section 5 this year for the Crimson, and they average just 2 goals allowed per game, which is the best defensive mark through the regular year in Section 5. They're matching up. They're 1-2 in every sense of the word. Only 1 goal allowed so far in the playoffs between them. And that was the opening goal of that semifinal game. Centennial scored against Maple Grove, taken away by Cam Schoberg near the blue line. He fires it down, bangs off the boards, and plucked up there by Ethan Elias for the Crimson. In black, flying back the other way to Chris Kernan. Kernan fresh off a hat trick. Kernan back in again, and he's stoned up by Ryan Wallen. Bengals recover out of the zone. They'll push it up quickly, trying to give their fans more to cheer about. Instead, it's gloved away by Jack Winke, the junior goaltender. We bring in the 3rd member of our broadcast crew, Blythe Whalen.
Thanks, Coach Berglund was telling me before this game that his team has not forgot about their loss last season to the Bengals in the playoffs. He even wrote on the whiteboard before this game, 365 days since unfinished business. He's been happy with how his team has played the last 5 games and knows the keys to success tonight are good puck movement, keeping it simple, and bringing that energy that they have all playoffs. JW.
Thanks, Blythe. As you get some physical play to help spring the Bengals down, and again, Jack Winke is able to glove it and make the save. So both goaltenders getting bled a little bit here early, just get into the fray here at 15-11 of period number 1. And yeah, it's almost a year to the day that these two teams met. It was tomorrow will be the 1 year officially
that the Bengals came away with a victory here at Aldrich 2-1, and we expect some good games between these two, Nick. And it could be that, again, whether it's an offensive battle or a defensive battle, it won't be many goals that decide it.
Well, and you can talk all you want about how this is one game, but don't think for a second that Maple Grove doesn't realize that they've lost 4 games in a row. They're looking for an opportunity to knock Blaine off its perch, not only in this series, but particularly with the state tournament on the line.
5 of the last 8 games between these teams, regular season and post, decided by a single goal as Wallen has that one swallowed up. 14:45 to go here in this one, and Ryan Wallen all season long has been the man back there, and defense, hot goaltender, Nick, can get it done for you.
Yeah, Ryan Wallen 16-5 on the season, 2.58 goals allowed average, and a better than 90% save rate. He's been tremendous in the net for the Blaine Bengals this season.
Made another save just then, 3 already early on before we hit the 3 minutes in mark, as both of these teams are finding some zone and finding some shots. Bengals able to peel it out here under control, looking to get up to Carson Rickles. That'll be a storyline to watch. Usually we're talking about Carson Rickles and how much, how early, how often can he score. Now, can he beat Jack Winicky at any point in this game and pick up his first postseason goal? Winicky, a tough customer to do it against.
Yeah, Winicky's coming off some rest as opposed to Ryan Wallen, who's in the net most of the time. Maple Grove switches back and forth. So Jack Winicky played in the quarterfinal, only had 7 shots against Spring Lake Park. So he's coming in well rested into tonight's game.
14:15 remaining here. Crimson knock it away at neutral ice. That forces Finn Loftus, defenseman with 25 assists on the season, to track it all the way back into the corner, dump it down high off the glass. It'll spin down towards the goal line and hit for an icing. Good atmosphere, as we would expect. It'll be back-to-back days of good atmosphere in Aldrich, the Section 5 2A championship here today. Crimson fans out in force. There were some togas. We'll have 4A, which is always well attended, between Hill Murray and White Bear Lake. There's the highlighter-clad Bengals section as well. Bengals win the draw, sprinting the other way. Under control, the control of Hunter Hansen. The other Hansen gets it back out in front. A backhanded spinning try, and Winicky equal to the task, sitting right in the crease. And he'll get the face-off coming to his stick side. Allraff trying to set up there in front. Just went to his back heel there, forced that kind of awkward look. Ben Allraff, he's the 3rd leading scorer on that second line, but he's got 5 goals, which would put him, well, at least in the top 7 in every other team in the section. And a lot of times it would put him in the top 3. When you look at goals scored by the rest of these Bengals, it's a very deep team. Through neutral ice it goes, bouncing up ahead to Zach Busick. Busick will track it down on the goal line. Didn't quite get there before he's checked off the puck, and here come the Crimson. Maple Grove at 19-8 to this point with 17 wins in the regular season. Dumped down by Tyler Oakland. He sends a shot that sails wide. Oakland had the 4th goal of the 4 total scored against Centennial in that semifinal victory. Just about 4 minutes gone as Cam Schoberg tries to track it down on the boards and knocks it out towards center ice for Sean Schweiger. Schweiger had it knocked around off his stick. Chayton Fisher tracks it down. For the Crimson, who wrap it around. They've spent a little bit more time in the Bengals zone than have the Bengals, at least under control. And so Blaine back on their heels, trying to send it back down the other end of the ice. Instead, it's peeled off the boards by Fisher again. Back out of the blue line, and just a mishandled pass takes him a little too deep. Back in, Ethan Elias tries to dump down, only Bengals home, chip it up ahead towards Schweiger. He gets beat to the puck, and it's free near the blue line, backhanded in. Ben Leafblad was not on side, so he had to give up pursuit, and it goes to Finn Loftus. Loftus up to Lager. Lager backhands it along the boards there, and that'll get us into a neutral ice face-off. 2 wins in 2 meetings for the Bengals. First one, it was closer, I think, than the 4-1 score would indicate, but the second one certainly as close as you get, a 2-1 final in overtime.
Yeah, and Hunter Hansen, the overtime goal for Blaine. So able to pick up both wins. As I mentioned, that was the 4th straight in the series. This has been a closely contested matchup, and the old cliche goes, it's tough to beat a team 3 times, and that's what the Blaine Bengals are looking to try and do here tonight. But so far, Maple Grove has controlled a little bit more of the tempo so far than we have seen from the Blaine Bengals tonight.
Yeah, the Bengals got out to that 2-goal lead in that first meeting. Ended up winning 4-1 after a scoreless second period. So both meetings within 2 goals or closer going to the third. Bengals certainly looking for that. Good crisp knock off the glass. We take you right ice side here on North Metro TV.
With that said, both close games, but it's a little more imperative maybe for, or important at least, for Maple Grove to score first. They have not led in this series in the last couple of years. So a chance for Maple Grove, if they could get the first goal tonight, an opportunity to maybe build some confidence that they have not been able to do in their previous meetings this season.
Jack Ryman trying to get after the puck, doing some dirty work. Instead, it springs back free to the blue line. 2-on-2, going back the other way for Grant Zick. Dumps it back behind, looked to get it again. It was out in front, and Wallen able to steer it away. On the flip side of that, if you are the Crimson and you look up giving a goal to the Bengals, that gives them their confidence right back after a tough game for them offensively against Totino Grace. That's not how you want to have a Bengal team facing you and rolling and feeling good about their offense.
No, we've seen this Blaine team over the season, and when they start to score, it tends to come in waves. So for Maple Grove, if they can keep them off the board early and make this into a little bit more of a grinded out battle, that becomes more difficult, and it also becomes more wearing, particularly for that number 1 line, which is, as we talked about in the pregame, going to be pretty imperative in this victory if it's going to happen for the Blaine Bengals.
Another face-off win for the Crimson. Did it in the Bengals zone. Forces the hard work. Music brings it out at the blue line. He'll knock it high off the glass into the netting that don't feel totally secure down there, by the way, if you're behind that glass. The netting is a little loose. Leaves some to be desired, but that one just sticks up in there. Bengals will have it in the Crimson zone. Just inside of 11. Yeah, it might drop down. Rob Clark, well, he was just down there. There he is. Rob's got to keep an eye. He's got good hands. Bengals trying to secure a draw in the Crimson zone. Couldn't quite do it. Not a lot of puck possession to be had in that zone. Tyler Oakland sliding it back the other way. Just knocked off his stick. Off the boards, drops down at the feet of Hansen. Hansen takes it to the right circle. He's open with space, and he goes off the crossbar and out. Awful close to knock it home for the first goal. Hansen after it again. As it's down below the blue line, Ty Bunis in on the pursuit. Make that Braden Lindsay. And the Bengals can't hold the zone. It's out to neutral ice. Crimson lose an edge. Fans wanted a penalty, not going to get it. Crimson able to just drag it into the zone. Wallen forced to stick that one away. Back off the board's backside as we come up on the 10-minute mark. Slide the pass across to the near side for Elias. He'll send the shot through and deflect it down in front by Lager. Lager got to it. They could not secure it up the ice. Looking for Schweiger on those far side boards. A bouncing puck sails towards the Bengal bench. Lager pushes it up ice. It meets the stick of Cal Thomas for the Crimson. Bringing it back into the Bengal zone. Pushing again off a stick of a defender. Tapped on its way, and that one will send us to a neutralized faceoff with that one going into the crowd. Here the bar.
Yeah, you can see Bunis, he was able to, or check that Hunter Hansen rather, he was able to create some space off to the right side, beat the goaltender, but you don't always beat that crossbar, and so the dinner bell rings, and we're still tied at 0.
Crimson, stingy, back at neutral ice, just shy of their blue line, able to turn it right back down, turned over behind the goal line. Barber could never get the shot away. Now here comes Rickles. He's flying out with Hansen off to his right. Rickles outside the circle, sends it in, steered away by Winnicky. Bengals maintain control, back out to the center for Ryman. He dumps it down into the corner, forces Loftus to hold it at the blue line, back to Hansen. Hansen shot hard off the pads to Rickles. Rickles slides it across, nobody home. And the net comes off, and we'll get a face-off here just outside the 9-minute mark in the Crimson zone. There's that first line, though. Good pressure from them, Nick, getting down there, not just one shot, but multiple shots, and now the face-off.
Yeah, and when we've seen Blaine at their best, that's what they're doing. They're picking up those loose pucks. As you can see, Rickles coming around. Winnicky does not secure the puck, and so another opportunity. And because of that, another face-off inside the Maple Grove defensive zone.
Crimson able to push it out to neutral ice and beyond. No icing coming up on this. Chris Kernan catches up to it in below the goal line. 7 goals in the regular season, then the hat trick. Crimson skater goes down again. Some arms fly up in the stands. Not going to get an arm up down on the ice. Dumped into the Crimson zone. Back between the circles, Spencer Dahlquist forced to push it up. Off the boards, tapping right towards the feet of Mason Streeter, who's able to just stop its pursuit up the ice. And now the Bengals rolling with the opportunity back out at their own blue line. Just clear, under control for Walraff, and he just sneaks it up ahead past the flying defense of Dahlquist. Crimson try to touch it out of the zone and do, just past Schweiger, near side for Oakland. Oakland into the zone, under control, got it ahead to Skansen. Taking off his stick, up to Lager. Lager waits for it, Lager pushes across. Lager takes the one-top shot, backhand rebound chance was there, and it just sails wide. Nobody had it under control after Winicky made the first save. Bengals trying to stay after it. Henry Nelson looking to clear for the Crimson and does. Out to neutral ice it comes. Brzezinski able to send it through, angled off the blue line. Picked up underneath by Nelson for the Crimson. Helped along, but only as far as Lager along the boards. Lager in on the fight, trying to get it back into the middle for Lindsay. Couldn't do it, taken away by Elias. Elias will dump it down, force Wallen to tap it behind the cage. Under 7.5 remaining here in this first period. Scoreless hockey so far in the 5-2-8 title game. These two high-scoring teams put up good shots early on both of these netminders, but nobody finding the back of the net. Bengals trying to set up a rush here. Clean possession. Rickles out to the near side. Streeter can't get it past that first line of defense. Pinned in on the boards. Forces Ryman to play it backwards. Back to Streeter. Streeter up the boards, looking to get it to Hansen. Couldn't do it. Knocked back down. Streeter has to chase down that Grant Zick offering. Instead, it'll be Wallen. A lot of time behind his cage, trying to redirect for his teammates. Not doing much with it. Under 7 we go here in this first period. Bengals will again try to extricate themselves from their own zone. They do it with a bouncing puck towards Ryman, a little bit too strong, and taken by Elias. Up ahead to Zick. Zick trying to kick it under control, couldn't get it. Streeter to Hansen off the boards. Now they're flying. Ryman will cross over just onside. Hansen right side takes the shot, deflected high into the netting. And then back will go for a face-off, but still right here. Lager brought it in and had that stick on in front. That was the chance, though, Nick, on the back end.
Yeah, you had Braden Lindsay right on the backside there waiting for it. And, you know, you take a look. I think, Blaine, if you were watching this game, you'd say Maple Grove has kind of controlled the tempo for the most part. But yet Blaine, because they're not picking up those rebounds, Maple Grove, and not securing the puck, Blaine out shooting Maple Grove right now by a 7-4 margin.
Losing another draw in the Crimson zone allows Maple Grove to clear it back out. So no control established despite that rush. Now that the second line out there. Streeter still trying to work it ahead. It's been tough going for Mason Streeter, the senior defenseman, to find any clear space to work. Walraff trying to get it back to the middle. Does so to Busick. Busick knocks it in front to Hansen. Bouncing puck. Back it goes to Walraff. A backhand no good. Plenty of traffic in front for the Crimson to knock those away. Bengals back to neutral ice. Here comes Brzezinski. The defenseman will take it in himself. Trickling puck just goes wide. Brzezinski back on top of it, and Wallen again just able to steer it away. Dodging a bullet once, twice, and 3 times against the Bengals are the Crimson. Under 5.5 to go. Physicality being established here. Crimson skaters going down all over the place. That time even just in space. Puck to neutral ice. Big slap shot goes well too wide for Chayton Fisher. Fisher's offering, bounces out of the corner, trying to find Lager. Lager back at the blue line, lets it go. It's back to the Crimson with William Peeler. Peeler leaves it top of the circle. That one just steered high over the crossbar by the glove of Walling. Still in pursuit, go the Crimson. Now we'll get our first penalty as Streeter got his stick caught up with a Crimson skater. Goaltender off. Odd man attempt here. Or rather, the extra skater comes onto the ice, and it's Chris Kernan. They still haven't given up the possession. Kernan drops low, near side, send it back out in front. Still no possession for the Bengals here with the goaltender off the ice. Back it goes into traffic. Still can't clear it away and get the whistle to blow. It's in front again, and finally, it's Hansen who tracks it down and will officially start this power play with 4:26 to go. This started it on the other end for the Blaine Bengals. Brzezinski once, just not enough English on that one. And then the penalty with Streeter trying to pull his stick out of there and never quite got it.
Yeah, and right now it's Blaine's going to be in the box. It's interesting how the things kind of tend to fall into place. Blaine had all sorts of chances. I think they had 5 different opportunities to score in that push, but here's Maple Grove now with the opportunity on the tripping penalty with their chance to pick up the first power play and the first goal of the game.
It would be their first power play goal of the postseason. 0 for 4 in the first 2 rounds. On the regular year, they had the edge when you look at these two teams. 38% success rate on the power play for the Crimson. Bengals were just at 31%. Plus 8 more goals for Maple Grove. 26 power play goals in the regular season. 0 for 4 though here so far in the postseason as that one goes through and they'll get it. Traffic and then 5-hole, and it's a 1-0 Crimson lead.
And Sam Jacobs is going to be credited for the goal. He led this team in goals in the regular season. As we watch it here, the setup comes from up top. Well, we'll see who they get the goal.
Might
Look,
be
Henry
Nelson all the
Nelson
way,
was
yeah.
the one who fired it away, but we'll wait to see if there was a tip out front. The way the celebration occurred, it looked like Jacobs felt like he tipped it, but we'll wait for the scoring call.
Henry Nelson did have 4 power play goals in the regular season. Either way, it's back of the net and a 1-0 lead here in the first period for the Crimson. As Nick mentioned, first time in the series this year that they've led the Bengals. Blaine had scored the early goals the rest of the way on a power play to boot. Bengals still after more chances here with 3:21 to go. Puck cycles out of the Crimson zone under the control of Ethan Elias. Down he goes, and the back official will bring up the arm for another penalty. Bengals slap it away, and we'll have our second penalty in basically the last 2 minutes against the Blaine Bengals.
It looked like it went off.
First man or second man?
They gave it to Henry Nelson.
Assist number 21,
As Jacobs is going to get an assist.
You see
Ethan
the
Elias.
And also Ethan Elias will get the assists on the play. It looks like it goes off by my eyesight. It looks like Tyler Oakland.
Yeah.
Looks
That
like the
goes off
foot
the toe
of
of
Tyler
Oakland.
Oakland, but they can't give him a goal because he did not specifically direct it. So they go back to the previous shot, which ends up being Henry Nelson with the goal. And so the power play goal giving Maple Grove the 1-0 lead. And now a second opportunity, and you start thinking about just early on, it's still fairly early, but still, this is a lot of time to be on the penalty kill if you're the Blaine Bengals. They just went off one, now they're right back to it.
Had knocked off 3 of 3 penalties against Totino Grace and Coon Rapids combined, giving up a power play goal here to go down 1-0. 20 seconds gone in the second Crimson attack. 1 for 1 in the game. Goal for Henry Nelson, who scored 4 times on the power play. Part of a 9-goal regular season for Nelson. His second goal overall of the postseason. All coming late here in the first with 1:19 remaining in the power play. Back come the Crimson. Ducked off the board by Cal Thomas to himself and tries to wrap it around. First one to it is Schoberg. Cam Schoberg clears it out. 1:05 to go. Bengals do have 7 shorthanded goals on this season. Crimson allowed 3 of them this year. Puck knocked around with under a minute to go in the power play. Scored early on power play number 1, trying to back it up and take a multi-goal lead. Shot deflected, that'll find the netting and bring us to a stop. 48 remaining on the power play, just under 2 minutes to go in this first period. Flurry of shots for the Bengals, but 2 penalties in the final 5 minutes, giving the Crimson a chance to take the edge. Last year it was a power play goal that decided it in the 2-1 final. 2 even strength goals, and then Carson Rickles on the power play got it done in the third.
This is going to be a hand pass, so we're going to have a face-off back in the Maple Grove defensive zone. So a break for Blaine here with 1:50 to go and 41 seconds remaining on the power play. It's always advantageous for that defensive team whenever there's a face-off in the opponent's defensive zone. Not only kills the clock, but it allows a little extra resting time for those defenders.
Crimson, though, as they have all game long, having that advantage on the draws, and they push it completely up the other end of the ice and take that potential advantage away on that rest, as Wallen has to snare that offering from Ian Barber that came flying from the blue line.
Well, we talked about the fact earlier that Maple Grove had not led in either game this season, so they've obviously got that going for them. But having said that, we've seen how this Blaine offense, we talked about that before, how they could get rolling here offensively, and they have had the opportunities. They haven't been able to get one past the goaltender, but they still have that opportunity, and here's one maybe here.
Turned over, here comes Hansen, tries to stop on a dime and just has it poked away by Henry Nelson.
That was a tremendous play. Dropping back by the defender. Well played. It looked like he was going to have a wide open seam, and then Nelson came, poked it off the stick. Well done.
Did just enough to force Hansen to try to do something tricky and lost the potential breakaway. They lose the advantage, back to 5-on-5 hockey with 1:04 ticking down. So 1 for 2 on the power play to take the 1-goal lead. Bengals a minute to try and rush and get it back. Here comes Hansen. Hansen, nifty feet, gets to a shot and it goes wide. Might have been deflected by the defender in front. Back the other way for the Crimson and Oakland. Oakland will shovel that one up ahead towards the crease. Eventually stop the clock. They let a few extra tenths go off there. Here's that defensive stick by Henry Nelson.
Yeah, watch that. That's a dangerous move, because if you don't get it, if the offensive player pulls back, he's going to be wide open with an opportunity around you. But Nelson played that well and was able to break up the scoring opportunity.
Hansen just pulls that last offering to the left. Trying to equalize this game. Plenty of time to do it now. 35 seconds to go. Hansen has that one tipping past him down to the other end of the ice. Rickles can't get there in time. Back to Loftus at neutral ice. 25 seconds to work. To the blue line, onside to Rickles. Rickles off his stick. Shades of what we saw on Saturday. Puck's just sliding off of Bengals sticks. 17 seconds left. One more push. Down a goal. Loftus off the boards, but he can't corral it. It's back down in front. Loose puck, covered by Wallen. Final 6 seconds will feature a face-off to his glove side.
Well, and you mentioned Rickles, and that's the first time I think we've really mentioned him in the game. We've seen a lot of opportunities for Blaine, but they have not come from the primary scorers for the Bengals. So nice job by the Maple Grove Crimson so far tonight of shutting down Rickles and Hansen and also Ryman. We haven't heard a whole lot from that number 1 line so far.
Power play goal for the Crimson. They're able to tap that draw around and waste away the final 6 seconds of period number 1. It belongs to Maple Grove. The power play goal from Henry Nelson, the defenseman. His 5th power play goal of the season, his 11th goal overall, and a shutout in the first for Jack Winicky and company on the defensive end. 1-0 Crimson, the lead to the first intermission here in the 5-2-8 title game on North Metro TV. Aldrich Arena to decide the 5-2-8 title. It was the Crimson, just like in this one, jumping out to a lead. Sam Jacobs got that first goal, but the next 2 and only 2 after that, scored by the Bengals. A power play snipe from Carson Rickles got it done. A 2-1 final to send the Bengals to the state tournament. Back here at Aldrich live this year, J.W. Cox, Nick Walsh, Blythe Whaley, and Nick, they're going to need some of that magic to get those hugs and jumping around, because again, first time this year, but second straight title game where the Bengals fall behind by a goal to the Crimson.
And I don't know if they're going to get the magic or not tonight, but they do have the talent in order to do it, and we've seen it throughout the regular season. And so the Blaine Bengals find themselves down, but we've seen them with the opportunities to score. They just haven't done it as of yet. This Maple Grove defense has played their front line defensively well, and we'll see what period numbers 2 and 3 have in store for us.
Mason Streeter was a part of those games, that game last year, and he caught up with Blythe Whaling.
Last year in sections, you guys went down by a goal to Maple Grove and came back to win it. How do you keep your guys positive here down 1?
We just got to keep working, and like last year, just keep working, and if pucks will find their way in, and they'll motivate our team to just keep playing harder.
So you've beat this team twice already this season. What was working in those games to get the victory?
We have a game plan, chip pucks in, get them deep, just get them to the net, and work hard on the back check, and I think if we do all those things, we'll win this game.
Thank you so much. Good job so far.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Bengals, well, they've got to find that game plan again and get back to it in period number 2 rather quickly. Well, they scored about 4 minutes into that second period last year to even things up. They would love to do that again. Bengals, well, there were some chances, certainly, Nick, in that first half. The medal unkind early could have given them the 1-0 lead. It was those secondary shots that were there and just not on target. Bengals need to capitalize in period number 2.
Yeah, and they've had some opportunities where Winicky has not been able to cover the puck on the first time. We see here there's a couple opportunities where Winicky was able to stop the shot. He did not allow a goal on a rebound, but there were certainly rebounds worth having for the Blaine Bengals, and they were able to build a fairly substantial lead in shots on goal throughout the first 8 or 9 minutes of this first period.
But it was Maple Grove, courtesy of a power play, 2 of those power plays in the final 5 minutes. On the first, they score through some traffic. It's Henry Nelson, his second tally of the postseason. Jacobs and Elias pick up the assist. Nelson with the goal officially, his 5th power play goal of the season, and the Togas love every minute of it. So a 1-0 lead for the Crimson. That's what they'll carry on into the second. Eyeing revenge and a section title. It would be their 3rd, but their 1st since 2017. The Tigers of the Blaine Bengals trying to keep it away from them. 1-0 Crimson after 1 on North Metro TV.
Blaine, Minnesota, located just 15 miles north of the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, is one of the fastest growing full-service communities in all of Minnesota. Blaine features great amenities such as the National Sports Center, home to the USA Cup Youth Soccer Tournament, the largest youth soccer tournament in the world, the TPC of the Twin Cities Golf Course, and many great parks and trails. Blaine has life cycle housing for families of all sizes and income levels, from apartments to townhomes to starter homes, with high-end executive homes and senior living facilities also available. Blaine's employment opportunities are numerous and diverse. Blaine is home to high-tech companies such as Infinite Campus and Streamworks, as well as many well-paying industrial and light industrial companies located throughout the city. Retail shopping and dining opportunities are also abundant in Blaine, with retail centers like Northtown Mall, the Village of Blaine, and Victory Village. When considering where to relocate yourself, your family, or your business, Blaine should be at the top of your list.
Dixie Blue Barbecue in Blaine. Some of the best barbecue you've ever tasted. Let us cater your next corporate or family event.
A lot to be determined still here in this 5-2A title game, but the Maple Grove Crimson take that first battle, a 1-0 lead out of the first period. The top 2 scoring teams in the section last year. The battle came down to a 2-1 game. Last time they met, came down to a 2-1 game. So we'll see what is in store the rest of the way for the Crimson and Bengals. This, another in a string of 8 crowns that will be placed on the heads of section title winners. 3 tickets already punched the state tournament. Eden Prairie, Blake, Moorhead, a couple of 1 seeds and a 2 seed in their respective tournaments. 3 more games going on tonight in Section 1, in Section 3, and in Section 7. And then the final champion will be right here in this building tomorrow. Hill Murray and White Bear Lake, which is always a big one. I mean, people certainly in the metro that belong to those 2 schools know about it, but that's always one that a lot of people circle and pack into Aldrich Arena for.
And prior to that, used to be at the Lee and Rose Warner Coliseum for many, many years at the State Fairgrounds. Lots of great battles over the years between White Bear Lake and Hill Murray, and also teams like Blaine, Centennial, Maple Grove. A lot of great games. A building that a lot of hockey traditionalists really miss, the old State Fair Coliseum.
Yeah, Aldrich has started to fill that bill, at least for where these games now happen. There's a reason you put Section 5 and Section 4 right here, and it's because you can pretty much pack the stands. And there'll be 2 nights of that to figure out the field for the state hockey tournament, which will start the 2A level next week. And a trip looked like no arm in the air off to a turnover. The Crimson and Grant Zick trying to make it count. Instead, we'll just get the face-off coming to the glove side of Ryan Wallen.
As we take a look here, a very close play here. Looked like maybe the Maple Grove player got hooked a bit with the stick and could have sent the Crimson on yet another power play. It would be their 3rd straight in about 6 minutes of game time, but Blaine keeps all 5 skaters on the ice for now.
Something they need to do better in the 2nd period. What they just did, could control it off the win of the draw, but did win that last face-off, and then the pass out was intercepted, taken away, so they've yet to clear the zone. Now they do out towards the middle. It's poked away. Sam Jacobs. Jacobs 13 goals, 13 assists in the regular season. He hasn't scored a goal, but picked up his 4th assist of the postseason in that 1st period. Winding pass finds Kernan. Kernan at the circle. Kernan lobs that one just wide to the left side on that little backhand. Bengals having a hard time bringing it out of their own zone under control, and again stopped up on its way there. Finally, Finn Loftus, whirling dervish, able to spin it ahead towards Walrath. Walrath back towards the middle, couldn't find Hansen. Crimson take it away. Minute 20 gone here in this period. Long shot off the glove and the pad of Wallen. Hard blast from Tyler Oakland. Now a bouncing puck just trickles in, no pressure, so the Bengals trying to pull it out of there under control. Couldn't quite do it. Come back down to Joshua Giuliani. Giuliani pays for his trouble in the corner, but able to free the puck out towards Gunderson. Gunderson and Giuliani trying to play with it and spring it free, or keep possession rather, on this near side. The Bengals able to work it out of the zone. Only as far as Nelson. Nelson at his own blue line, sends it back up ahead. Knocked away by the Bengals, but the loose puck stays with the Crimson, and on the redirect back to the middle. It's a 2nd goal of the game for Maple Grove, and it's Joshua Giuliani.
What a great pass across to Giuliani, who was sitting wide open in front of the net. That was one of those textbook goals, as the Maple Grove Crimson build a 2-0 lead early, and you can feel that the pendulum has swung here as we take a look. A missed opportunity for Blaine to clear the zone, and a nice pass. Grant Zick, tic-tac-toe, what do you know, over to Giuliani, who was waiting wide open in front of the net, and Maple Grove celebrating a 2-0 lead here very early in the 2nd period.
Giuliani with his 2nd goal of the postseason. He scored his 3rd goal, rather. He scored twice in that quarterfinal win. Crimson coming right back at it. Bengals couldn't clear it out of the zone. Long shot from the blue line, and Wallen gloves it away with some pressure from Zick in front.
As the pendulum has certainly swung in favor of the Maple Grove Crimson. Early in the 1st period, we felt that Blaine had opportunities. They had some opportunities to put the puck in the net. Were not able to do that, even though Winnicky gave the puck up a few times on turnovers. Instead, now Maple Grove, with those couple of power plays, which oftentimes happens, the teams start to feel better and more comfortable offensively, and clearly that's the case here for Maple Grove, as another shot on goal here for the Crimson. Quick snapshot by Elias from the top.
Face off to that stick side. More pressure coming from the Crimson. In the corner, Brzezinski wraps it around the boards. He finds the stick of Rickles. Rickles up ahead to Ryman. Ryman, he'll send that shot on and force Winnicky to cover it up, and they'll at least get the draw here in the Crimson zone. Chance to spend a little time there. This line has to find something. It's a deep team, Nick, but if this game is going to swing back in favor of the Bengals, this top line right here needs to find something positive.
And that's the first shot on goal that I can remember from this top line in tonight's game, despite the fact Blaine has had some opportunities, not from this top line, and you got to give credit to Maple Grove's defense for that.
Rickles bounced off the puck. Eventually it springs free. He had a chance at a one-timer in front, trying to get that centering pass to redirect. Hansen at the blue line, knocks it back down under control, sends it in the zone off the skate of Barber. Controlled by the Crimson now. Ryman pushing up, trying to get that turnover. Off the wall, played by Zick. Back into the middle, tic-tac-toe to Oakland. Oakland outside the circle. He dumps it between the legs of a Bengal defender, and back it goes to Ryman. Ryman will move it up the board's far side. That wasn't touched, but it was touched, and so they'll wave off that icing. In behind the cage it goes, and the Crimson still a chance to peel it out. Ryman some pressure, but it flies past him. Flying up the far side, in front, the shot goes wide. Quick trigger from Dahlquist. And now the puck flies up into the Crimson bench. Will bring us back into the Bengal zone. First 2 goals of the section tournament allowed here by the Blaine Bengals. 38 of 38 coming in. Stopping shots for Ryan Wallen. His team not keeping it clear in front and not establishing any sort of possession on the offensive side of the ice. Puck knocked away at neutral, sent ahead by Schweigert. Schweigert chasing it down just past the goal line. He's got Lindsay down working with him. See if they can set something up. Bouncing puck directed to the far side. Trying to get it in front to Schweigert and Lindsay. Now Lager down there with it too. Has it tipped off of his stick. The Crimson clear it only as far as Schoberg, who knocks it back down towards the zone. Lager spins it ahead just before he's hit from behind. Crimson track it down first. Fisher lost the puck over to Lindsay, and Lindsay banks it off the pads of Winicky. Winicky stands tall on the potential turnover. Brazinski in front, and a bouncing pass hit the heel of Hansen's stick and goes wide. Brazinski again through traffic, nailed Lager on the knee, and we'll get a penalty coming up. Delayed, off comes Wallen, bouncing puck again. Bengals hacking at it, and we'll eventually have that whistle, some pushing and shoving after. And if nothing extra comes, it'll be the man advantage for the Bengals as the man in stripes wraps up Henry Nelson. Sends him to the box for the cross check.
And so the first opportunity of the night for this Blaine Bengal team. As we take a look at the chance there, that was the tip play out in front, just missing the net. That's kind of been the night for Blaine, as they've had some quick opportunities, some open opportunities, some rebound opportunities, and they've gone just wide. And so this may be their chance to get this offense going. They haven't been comfortable in the semifinal against Totino Grace. They haven't been comfortable so far here tonight, and so sometimes these are the power play moments that get those opportunities rolling and this offense fueling for a team like Blaine.
They were 0 for 2 on the power play against Totino Grace, 1 for 4 in the postseason. Turn it over shorthanded to Jacobs. He'll send that one into the glove of Wallen. Nothing working that time. First 26 seconds. And they'll be at the other end of the ice to try and defend this shorthanded opportunity for the Crimson. Crimson will dive in there.
Crimson are out shooting Blaine so far 7-3 here in the early goings of the second period. Blaine just does not look comfortable on offense whatsoever. Maple Grove is gumming things up a little bit, but nonetheless, and that's on net.
And Wallen thought he had some time behind the net, just comes back to bounce it away. So with 1:19 to go in the power play, Bengals really setting up for the first time. They got it to Ryman. Ryman from the circle settled it back down. 5-on-4 chance to tie it up for the Bengals. Already have given up a power play goal, trying to get back even on special teams. Rickles with space. Ryman set up in front alongside Hansen. Rickles goes high. Hansen now at the circle. Back to Rickles. Pass handcuffed him. Able to shove it over to the far side. Loftus redirects. Under 50 to play. Ryman dancing with the puck behind the goal line. Gets it back from Hansen. It sails wide of him. Still a bouncing puck and a chance at a clear for the Crimson. Over to Hansen. It does clear down the ice.
Elias and Thomas for Maple Grove, the #1 defensive line, have been playing a tremendous job. They've been on the ice most of the time with this #1 line, and they just haven't been allowing anything open so far.
Rickles and Hansen generate a shot off the pads of Winicky. Get the power play face-off in the Crimson zone. Cole Hansen, well, this season he's been one of the leaders, the leader in points, and they'll need him to be smiling about a lot here in the final 10:43 of this period plus. He has found goals time and again, and he'll try to rip one here at some point. He goes off the ice with that first line. So they bring the second power play unit out there. Brazinski with 6 seconds, tries to fire it through traffic, and it's knocked away. Jacobs in front. And that eliminates the power play opportunity. Down 2-0 still. Blaine able to hold it in. Streeter sends a deflected puck up into the netting. 10-11 to go.
Maple Grove is doing a nice job so far of taking away the angles. And so what I mean by that is Blaine in that kind of semicircle above the crease, just not finding a lot of room. They're doing a nice job of getting in front, crossing through, and creating a lot of traffic in front of the net. Blaine just hasn't had many opportunities since the first couple of minutes, at least, to get anything going towards the net without a whole lot of interference in front of him.
Down 2-0 here with under 10 minutes to go now. It's a Maple Grove team that put together 5 shutout performances in the regular season. One more, that was in the quarterfinals of this section tournament. Trying to do it to a potent Bengal offense here that is looking for any sort of life on this side of period number 3. Streeter trying to bully his way to the puck. Couldn't quite do it. Turn and a quick shot fired in there off the stick of Giuliani. Got that second goal for the Crimson. Giuliani after it again. Taps it down towards Gunderson. Scanson in the corner. Popped it back up. Taken away by Lindsay, whose stick is knocked away. And that will be a penalty. And just like the Crimson did early, back-to-back penalties for all intents and purposes. Here in the second, the Bengals get another crack at it.
As we take a look here, and right there, a slashing call there. And so Maple Grove losing a player for the second straight power play here. So both teams going on their second power play of the day. Maple Grove 1 for 2. We'll see if Blaine can even them up on this.
Just one official shot on that first power play.
Time of the penalty, 7:39. Scanson, 2 for slashing at 7:39 for the Crimson.
See if the Bengals can get things in gear earlier rather than late. 31% on the power play in the regular season. That went through traffic. Hansen had it knocked away again in front. Sam Jacobs unafraid to put his body in the way of the puck. Rickles had it tapped by Oakland. Rickles to Ryman. Ryman lets it sail free to Hansen. Both Hansens out on the ice right now. Hansen and Hansen goes to Loftus instead to fire the first shot of the power play, and it's snared by Winicky. Minute 22 remaining in the power play.
Yeah, that's one of the few opportunities Blaine's had where there wasn't a whole lot of traffic. Loftus was able to get a wrister off from the top of the left circle, but Winicky on the mark, sliding across to make the save.
They're knocking Leafblad out of the draw. Ryman takes it. 80 seconds to go. Loftus at the blue line. Sophomore defenseman, 25 assists on the season. Rickles tries to feed it over to him, and it's off the boards. Misplayed. All the way back down the ice. Bengals give that one back with just a minute to work with. And now the Crimson, a misplay, dodges a bullet there as Rickles will take it back on his own. He's got Hansen floating between the circles. Rickles keeps. Looking to distribute, now to Hansen. Hansen after the puck on the near side boards. It's popped free, and out of the zone it goes. Coming up on 40 seconds to go on the power play. So just the one shot offered up by Loftus from the blue line. Bouncing puck knocked around by Tyler Oakland, who's been good on the 2 penalty kills now so far. Rickles elbows his way down towards the corner. No space there, and pop back free again. Loftus raced to the puck with just outside of 20 seconds to go in the power play. Hansen across the blue line, lets it sail deep towards the crease, sticked away by Winicky. Dead puck right in front of the crease, and eventually Winicky gets on top of it. Nobody was quite sure where it was, certainly not the Bengals. Lager couldn't get the stick on it. And with just 11, make it 12 seconds to go, the Bengals running out of time.
As you can see there, the puck right out in front, and unfortunately for the Bengals, Lager just didn't know it was there.
Lindsay and Schweiger trying to free up the puck. One more chance to Streeter. Streeter, he'll just dump it down as we go back to even. Schweiger has it taken away by Nelson. Worked all the way up the ice, Brodzinski and Streeter. Alone to send it ahead. There's Lager off the boards. He immediately has it knocked away. Streeter make it Brodzinski to pick it up, work it in. Brodzinski in front, floating puck. Lindsay was there and couldn't redirect. At the blue line, through the legs of Hansen. Brodzinski to track it back down. All the way up ice to Lager. Under 7 we go, and Lager fires it towards the glove of Winicky. It'll earn them a draw, but not much else, Nick, as they just don't have a lot going offensively here. Well past the midway point of period number 2.
Well, and if you're Maple Grove, you'll take this on a couple of different levels. One, anytime that Lager's taking a shot, that means that Hansen isn't, or some of these other players that are so powerful, Rickles. And so you'll take that. The other thing is that that shot was probably from 30 feet away. Now, a goaltender like Winicky, he's got all sorts of time to prepare for a shot like that. No traffic in front, and a lot of room to make that save.
Chance for Busick to get up there, and just not quick enough. Winicky steps out and pokes it away. Up it goes to Giuliani. He puts the brakes on, waiting for some help. Never came. Schoberg tracks down the puck, plays it around the boards to the far side, trying to get it up towards a crashing Ben Walrath. Never got it. In front again, and a deflected puck just goes wide. Crimson in front. Giuliani floating in just off the heel of his stick and wide. Had a man still there. Barber on the back door could have knocked it home, but it couldn't connect. Bengals dodging a couple of bullets. Fly it out of the zone. Nowhere in particular on that one as far as the course goes. Leafblad tracks it down. Another long shot. Wallen snares it. Under 6 we are here in this second period.
He might have gotten that one in the face a little bit. I thought I heard the clip of the face mask right as he made that play. So that one got up on him quick, and it got right towards the face. As you can see, Wallen readjusting his headgear here with 5:47 to play. And there's the replay again. Good wrist shot, and not much time to react. Yeah, that one clipped off of the face mask and back into the glove.
Got to defend this glove side face-off. Goal in the first, goal in the second for the Crimson. Once on the power play. And an even strength goal from Giuliani. All kinds of pressure for the squad in crimson and black. Up it goes to Rickles. Rickles' shot steered away. Ryman dancing along the goal line. Stopped again by Winicky. Another free puck, weak side. Knocked away by Leafblad for the Crimson. Streeter trying to pin it, shy of the blue line, bouncing puck, knocked and cleared. A little bit of room to run out there for Barber. It's cut off quickly. Brodzinski flying to the puck. Brodzinski had it to neutral ice and then poked back down. Bengals can track it with Streeter. Streeter behind his own net, finds Hansen. Hansen tries to flutter towards neutral ice, looking for Rickles, never got it there. Jacobs past the defender on the board, sends it in tight to Wallen, who makes the save.
Another quality opportunity there for this Maple Grove team, and they're swarming a bit now as they've been able to contain this Blaine offense, and that opens up your offense because it allows the defense to play back just a little bit more, and it allows you to be a little more aggressive than a one-goal game or a tie game. You feel like you can sometimes take a little bit of those chances to try and get an even bigger lead yet.
Schweiger finds Lindsay on the move, and Lindsay takes the quick shot from the blue line, and it's saved by Winicky. A good little break out of the zone right there for the Bengals that time. And this Schweiger, Lindsay, Lager line. Try to see what they can do. That's the third line here to try and solve Winnicke.
And frankly, this is the best line that they've had tonight. Lager and Lindsay have had opportunities that we haven't seen from Ryman, Hansen, or Rickles tonight. And so this has been their best opportunity to score, which has been a little different from the game plan that Blaine has had throughout the season.
Bouncing puck. That one got a lot of the crease and just sails wide off a deflection in front. Lindsay knocks it down, able to tap it ahead to Schweiger. Schweiger finds Lager, fighting with one defenseman, able to just float it across the blue line for a moment. Back it comes. Scanson thought he had a man right behind. Eventually, Nelson catches up to it, fires the shot, bouncing in and out of the glove of Walling. And he settles it down just in front of a pursuing Henry Nelson. Puck bounced the way of the Crimson, turned into an opportunity.
Wallen not panicking there. He knew he had plenty of time to cover up, although a nice play by Henry Nelson closing fast. Wallen beat him to it.
Puck free off the draw for the Crimson to take. Zick able to just poke it down towards the goal line. Streeter in a battle over there with Ben Walrath. Secure possession as time ticks away here in this second period. Goal in each period for the Crimson. Loose puck for Busick to run after. It's popped back towards Walrath. Walrath down to the ice and a free puck. Whipped around by the Crimson. Pushed out of the zone, but only as far as Streeter. Streeter taps it back up ahead, trying to find Busick. Busick and Hansen pursuing the puck. Drops down below the goal line. Here comes Hansen. Hansen on the near side boards, back to Streeter in the middle. Streeter to take it across neutral. Is able to fling that one off the glass and into the side of the cage dangerously. And Winnicke covers up in traffic. Traffic provided by Ben Walrath.
So 2:58 remains here in the second period. The number one line for the Bengals coming back out. I'd like to see a little more urgency from this number one line. We haven't seen a lot of aggression from them, and it's a little bit surprising because that's what we've seen throughout the season. They seem a bit tentative tonight, and so late in this second period, you're not going to get more time on the clock here. It's about time in this section final for this number one line to maybe turn it up a little bit.
Puck taken away. Loftus knocks it over to Hansen. Bouncing puck. He settles it in off the back side of the pads, and there was Rickles, and he just couldn't corral it. Coming up on the 2.5-minute mark. Maybe just gripping those sticks a little bit too tightly here in this section title game, trying to win it 2 straight years against Maple Grove. The Crimson so far in the driver's seat. Ryman fighting for the puck. To the middle for Loftus. Loftus pushes it up ahead towards Ryman. Or excuse me, towards Rickles. And Rickles can't get there before the goal line, and it turns into an icing back the other way. Bengals have beaten the Crimson 16 of their last 30 meetings, stretching all the way back to 2009, including 4 in a row. That's the longest win streak for either one of these teams over the past decade.
And Maple Grove wins yet another draw. It's been pretty obvious who's been winning these draws. Maple Grove has been dominant in those face-off circles, and that's been part of the reason why Blaine has had to play a little bit more tentative. They haven't been able to control the puck.
Walrath nearly had that one in neutral ice. Instead, it bounces back, forced Brazinski to knock it down with his waist. Send it up ahead. Streeter with Wallen out of the net. It pops back out in front, but not under control. Now eventually, Scanson able to tap it with a little bit of authority down below the goal line. Under 2 minutes to go here in this second period. All Crimson with a 2-0 lead. Bengals almost in that survival mode now as it bounces again in front. 2 Bengals there and a chance to clear. It'll be right on net, so it's played by Winnicke. No icing. Winnicke holds it up. Just over 80 seconds to go here in this second period, and that will turn into an icing back the other way, a little unforced, and bring it back to the other end.
And a really big mistake potentially if Blaine can capitalize. Maple Grove's playing a series of short stints, especially at this period of time. You've got 1:19 left. You want to make sure, if nothing else, if you're Maple Grove, that your lead is no less than 2 goals. Now what you do, you turn the puck over, you ice the puck, and now the #1 line back on the ice for Blaine.
Ryman's got Rickles to his inside, wins the puck back to Streeter. Streeter through traffic, steered away by Winicky. Off the boards, 1 and done. Back come the Crimson. Rickles forces the puck away. Brazinski knocks it ahead, and Ryman was too quick into the zone. So to neutral ice we go with 1:06 remaining.
Ryman tried to keep his right foot dragging, but it would have had to have been about 17 feet long for him to do that and still stay on side. So the face-off will come back out in the neutral zone.
Ryman able to push the puck backwards. Brazinski and Streeter left to work it ahead with 1 minute to go. Rickles turns and fires it as far as the goal line. Ryman pursuing with some pressure, bouncing puck, clears the zone again. Brazinski up but not on target to Ryman. That allows Zick to push it ahead for the Crimson. Played by Wallen to wrap around to Streeter. He had Ryman behind, make it Brazinski. Up to Hansen. Dead on his skates. He sends it right free to Barber. Barber at the circle. Barber with space. Fires that one wide and dangerous. Brazinski finds Rickles with 29 seconds to go. Up ice towards Hansen. Hansen can't find it. It's out of the zone, and the Bengals will retouch. Crimson have possession. Hansen pushing up. Ryman to free the puck. Bounce back to Brazinski. Up to Hansen, fresh out of the zone. Hansen at the circle. Wind away by Winicky. Up into the netting, and with 8 seconds to go, a face-off for the Bengals. Headed to the third, just like the first 2 meetings between these 2 teams. As of now, no wider separation than 2 over the first 2 periods. First meeting, Bengals had a 2-0 lead. We were 1-1 to the third. 1-0 to the third, and for the Bengals in the second meeting. 1 in overtime by Blaine. This one, they're down 2-0. Crimson, the lone goal of the second, scored early on, just 2 minutes in by Joshua Giuliani, and more shutout play from Jack Winicky here in this title game. 2-0, Crimson. 17 minutes away from heading to the state tournament if they can hold it. Bengals trying to change the story next on North Metro TV.
Pecorino, Campidoglio, vino rosso, vino bianco, cappuccino, Rigoletto, Cannaletto, Saccomano. Vaporetto, Portofino, Leonardo, Amaretto, Marco Polo, Parmigiano, Caravaggio, Arlecchino. Allegretto ma non troppo piano, piano Bardolino. Viva, 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 viva l'Italia, viva l'Italia, viva, 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 viva l'Italia che mi va.
Back inside Aldrich Arena after 2 periods, a 2-0 lead for the Maple Grove Crimson as they try and pick up their first section title since 2017 and get revenge against the Blaine Bengals, who beat them in this game last year. A way forward for the Bengals, Nick. Be getting number 17 going again. He's had a tremendous year. He's a Mr. Hockey finalist, but he needs to find it. They need the opportunities for him, and he's got to cash it in.
Yeah, and we just haven't seen the opportunities tonight for Rickles, and so in the third period, he's obviously got to be a key component if this Blaine Bengal team is going to come back in this third period. They need to find some offense, and he's the logical start for it on that #1 line.
Blythe got up with Zach Busick in between periods here, and we hear how he thinks they've got to get back in this game.
Able to net a goal versus Maple Grove the last time you matched up. What do you need to do to get one in the back of the net here tonight?
I think we just got to chip pucks deep, hit them, and drive the net.
What is Coach Carroll telling you sitting down in this playoff game? How do you guys get this one back?
We just stick to our base, grind away, and find a way to the net.
Thanks so much for your time. Good luck here.
Thank you.
1 goal in the first period for the Maple Grove Crimson. They did that in the final 4 minutes. They got started earlier in the second period to pick up the lone goal. And just 2 minutes in, Joshua Giuliani the backside, able to sweep it home. He scores to make it 2-0 and picks up his third goal of the postseason. No scoring the rest of the way, Nick, but the Maple Grove defense took over. We said it a couple of times, just not allowing the Bengals to get comfortable, kind of mucking things up in that zone.
Yeah, really not allowing much space. You know, the defensive front for Maple Grove's really played well, cutting off the angles, and of course you can't forget the goaltender, Jack Winicky, as he has saved 26 shots, every one of them, and he has been solid. Of course, we talked about it. He did not play in the semifinal game against Centennial, so he's well rested, only faced 7 shots against Spring Lake Park, and so not seeing a lot of shots in the postseason until tonight, but he's saving some of the good ones here for the section final.
5 of the last 8 between these two teams have been decided by a single goal. 3 of those have featured a 3-2 final, so there could easily be some more goals scored in this one. And if you're the Bengals or a Bengal fan, or just a kid with excellent hair, you're looking for more offense from the Bengals in period number 3. Stick around for it here from Aldrich on North Metro TV.
An apple core, or potato peels, that leftover pizza you promised you'd eat.
Ew.
Those dirty napkins and paper towels. Stop treating us like garbage. Did you know up to 30% of what you're throwing away could be composted? Composting gives your discards new life, which can be used to improve soil. To learn more about the new organics drop-off programs available throughout the county and get your free starter kit, go to anokacounty.us/organics.
Attempts to go in on the ice will be subject to prosecution.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be tornado next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
It's been physical and it's been defensive. That's at least how Maple Grove has attacked it here in this 5-2A title game, and so far that has helped them to a 2-0 lead through 2 periods. With you once again, J.W. Cox, Nick Walsh. Third member of our broadcast crew is Blythe Whaley, who caught up with Coach Carroll in between periods. Blythe?
Thanks, JW. He was telling me what they need to look at to adjust here in this third period. He said his team, of course, has to look to get stops. They can't allow this Maple Grove team to get up by any more, but he feels confident if they can go back to their organic offensive roots that they've had a lot of the season, that once they net one, these goals are going to start rolling and keep on rolling. So he's looking for that first one here in this third.
Thanks, Blythe. And they have a blueprint, Nick, a game that we did against the Centennial Cougars. They found themselves down 3-1 going into the third period. Ended up scoring 3 straight goals, including the game winner in, 3 straight goals, including the game winner in overtime to win that game. So this is an offense that if they can get back to those roots and get a goal, can score real quick, real often.
Yeah, and that's it. This is how they play. This is a team that once they get one goal, things can start to roll, and that's what we saw in that game. You talked about Centennial, a late goal. Hansen got a goal, and then Rickles was able to score almost immediately in that overtime session. They can come in waves sometimes.
Rickles got it back out in front, and an extra shot right from the slot goes high, and then off the crossbar and down from Ryman, but the cage was already ajar. They'll get that sorted back out. And it'll be a face-off in the zone, but a little flurry of activity there for the Bengals.
Well, and that's, I was talking about it right at the end of the second period. I was looking for a little bit of aggression from this number one line, and you're seeing it here, pushing it towards the net. The initial shot coming there from Cole Hansen, and then the second shot came just after the whistle blew. But you got to get pucks towards the net. There's not a whole lot of a secret to it. You're going to have to find a way to break down this Maple Grove defense and get pucks towards the net.
Wallen has that one sniped right past him there as he was trying to play it in behind the net to start something down the ice. Rickles moving up ahead quickly, trying to get a step inside of the defense for the Crimson. Does catch up with the puck in the corner. Fishes it around to the far side, and it's turned over back to the Crimson. Up ahead on a break, it goes for Kernan. Kernan in, and stopped by Wallen. Kernan had 3 in the semifinals to punch their ticket here. He was looking for a third goal for his team, and Ryan Wallen denies him.
Yeah, and this whole thing, of course, was set up. Blaine has turned the puck over a few times tonight. That was off a turnover, and what a stop by Wallen. If Blaine comes back and wins, remember that save, because that could have been one that might have broken the backs of the Blaine Bengals.
Quickly pushed up by Schoberg. Schoberg takes it end to end below the goal line, trying to center back out in front instead of the blue line for Loftus. Dumps it back down, bouncing puck, wrapped around the boards, headed for Nelson, and Nelson will send it on its way to the blue line and pulled out of the zone by the Crimson. Off the boards, played in behind the cage, left for Loftus. Loftus spinning it back with Schoberg, trying to work their way up the ice, see what the second line can do. So far, not breaking into the Crimson zone just yet. A couple of bouncing pucks, and Walraff sent it past the blue line, only to have it come right back out. Loftus would dump it down, head for a change. That turned into a pop-up right into the glove of Winicky. And he didn't get that one down in time, or just enough pressure to have him keep it in the glove. And draw the face-off. This has been the best line of the night. I think we've agreed as far as springing to the puck and finding chances. Lager, Lindsay, and Schweiger. And they'll get an opportunity here with the face-off in the Maple Grove zone. Bounced in towards the corner where Nelson tracks it down. In behind the net, a little confusion there on the puck, but eventually the Crimson sprinted out towards Gunderson. Gunderson across the blue line, trying to dump it back down for Giuliani. Gunderson slapping it around, and eventually it's taken away by the Bengals, but Brazinski can only backhand it as far as the blue line. Right back down in the zone. Schweiger trying to peel it off the board. Schweiger fighting against Giuliani. Giuliani able to send it below the goal line. Wraps all the way around the boards. Sent out by Lager. Schweiger pokes it ahead. Crimson have the numbers. In goes Lindsay pursuing the puck. Was there a little bit late. Comes out under the control of Dahlquist. Dahlquist up ahead to Giuliani. Giuliani well outside the circle. Peels that one wide. Schweiger bounced it off the boards looking for Lager. He can't control. Come up on the 14-minute mark. Still a 2-0 game. Goal in each period for the Crimson. Schweiger after the puck loses that battle. It's wrapped around. Wallen plays it for Streeter. Top line coming back out now. Hansen watches Streeter go by. A bouncing puck skipped away by Winicky. Back out in front. Right. Rickles was there. Could never get control. Rickles in below the net. Just hip checked off the puck with 13:50 to go. Loftus at the blue line. Loftus settles it in on the stick. Back it goes opposite blue line to Streeter. Streeter with Ryman in the middle. Through Hansen over to Rickles. Rickles couldn't shoot it. And the puck bounces free. Loftus able to redirect back towards Hansen. Hansen turns sharp. Hansen able to find a defenseman flying off the bench rather to direct it in, but cleared back out for the icing by the Crimson. A little puck possession there, but nothing much out of it for Coach Carroll's Crimson.
Well, and we mentioned the one time where the pass came into Rickles right out in front, and again, the defense was in front of Rickles. They weren't even allowing him to receive the puck. So again, Rickles kind of taken out of the game plan out front, where we know he has been very dangerous this year.
Quick shot off the draw for Hansen. No avail, and eventually pushed up by Peeler. William Peeler steps around the defenseman, tracks the puck down in the corner, and then Finn Loftus sits down on the puck, slows it up just enough. Away comes Hansen. Hansen knocks it off his own skates. Hansen back in the middle. Walraff, Busick. Busick shot and save from Winicky. That was good passing again, working into the zone. But Winicky makes his 23rd save.
Yeah, and for Winnicky, this was a play that he was able to anticipate. The double team of defense kind of closed off Walrath. He knew that he had to pass it across, and Busick was able to get a good shot off, but Winnicky pretty much knew it was coming and where it was coming from before it occurred.
Walrath slaps the draw to the left-hand side. Nobody there to control it, though. Off it goes. Jacobs up to Kernan. Kernan's swarmed by 3 defenders, but still works it in across the blue line. Ducks down below the goal line, ends up losing an edge. And loses the puck for his trouble, but it bounces back to him in the corner. Kernan high above the circle, tries to flip it back down towards the middle, makes its way in there, eventually steered away. There were 3 Bengal defenders around, they couldn't find it. Streeter off the board. Streeter high of the circle, up to Busick. Busick on the move with Hansen in the middle. Busick will take that shot, sticked away up into the netting, and there's some big time swings coming right in there. As the net got pushed out, that was as close as we've come to any real extracurriculars as you watch Busick deliver it in. Then Streeter, yep, that's why he got hit.
Yeah.
Because there was the shove to the goaltender, and then Nelson trying to protect him.
Yeah, Nelson's not going to allow that to occur at any level at any time. And so, especially in the third period of a section final game, you put an elbow into our goaltender, you're going to get 2 right back.
Draw still stays in the Crimson end. No goals here in the third so far, almost 5 minutes gone. Bengals able to control. Ryman pushes it from the corner. Looking for Hansen. Rickles is in between the circles. Now he'll drop down to receive this puck below the goal line. A little space, bumps it up ahead. Schoberg at the blue line. Trickling puck, finds its way to the circles. It was deflected defensively. Ryman sends it in towards the net. Back to Schoberg at the blue line, just barely held in. Wraps around the boards, Loftus. He'll touch it, walking along the goal line. Loftus takes the backhand shot, and it gets caught up by Winnicky. He wasn't sure where it was, but he knew he had it. And he makes another save, the 30th of the night for Winnicky against these Bengals.
We see here as Loftus was able to weave his way through some traffic. One of the more difficult saves that Winnicky has had to make tonight, but nonetheless up to the task.
Just 1 goal on the season for Finn Loftus. 26 total assists, one of those coming here in the postseason. That one swipes past his stick, turned out for the better for the Bengals, as it'll be an icing coming back the other way. Coach Berglund, his 5th season he has been in this game. Every single year he's been at the helm of the Maple Grove Crimson, the former Thief River Falls Prowler, native of Northwest Minnesota. And now here calling Maple Grove home for a number of years as an assistant prior to taking the head coaching job. Free puck out there for the taking, and the Crimson oblige. Under 12 minutes to play here in this third period. Looking for something positive for the 1 seed.
Mentioned hockey up in the northwest corner, the Section 8A championship going on currently. Warroad leading East Grand Forks 2-0. As the Warriors looking to head back to St. Paul.
Bengals, third line again. Lager waiting on that feed to the middle. It never came. He's after the puck in the corner. Does pop it free to the left-hand side, but the Crimson take it away. Up ice under the control of Gunderson. Gunderson enters in, everybody on side. Gunderson looking to the blue line. Shot through traffic, nails a bangle in the back of the leg and just clears the zone. Come up on the 11-minute mark. Bouncing puck, Brazinski. Checks over the shoulder and tracks it down, then takes a check with the shoulder from Skansen. Slowed potential pursuit up the ice. Lager back to Brazinski. Bench wanted a penalty, not going to get it as that puck goes fluttering into the base of the boards. Back behind the net, Streeter. Able to free up enough space to at least get the puck out of the zone. Coming right back in though for the Crimson. In goes Kernan, takes that shot, and it goes wide. Kernan still wants to be the man. It's not a shot at a hat trick for him, but the 3rd goal for his team on the night would just about clinch things. the way this has gone for the Bengals. Certainly if it comes next without the Bengals scoring in between, it would just about be lights out here in 5-2-A. 10 minutes still to go. The icing will bring it back to the other end. Maple Grove went to the state tournament in 2012 and 2017. They have been to 8 of the last 11 title games here in Section 5. The only year since 2010 that one of these teams was not in this section title game was 2013. Champlin Park and Centennial had their own little party as the 2 and 4 seeds. Centennial won that one 4-2. Every other year since 2010, and now, of course, again, including this one, is nearly turned over in front to Schoberg, but he couldn't track it down. Every other year has featured either the Bengals or the Crimson. For the 5th time now, both. Tipped puck on its way up ice. And eventually the offsides. It's going to come back just on the doorstep, the Crimson zone.
Yeah, for a long time, this was a section where you almost assumed it was going to be Blaine and Centennial in the section final. Maple Grove has kind of reset things over the last 7 to 10 years you talked about there, where they've been in several section finals. They've been to the state tournament a couple of times, and they've really kind of superseded Centennial to some extent in this section at this point. Blaine is still right there. Centennial's not far behind, but Maple Grove is certainly one of those teams that seems to be suddenly in the conversation every year.
Turned over by the Bengals. Inopportune time for that. Jacobs nearly put it home. Now Jacobs through traffic, bouncing puck into the back of Brazinski. Still alive, swept along. Wallen makes another save through traffic. Brazinski knocked that one down again. And finally, a puck into the net will bring us a little bit of respite here before we get another glove side faceoff.
There was a tremendous save by Wallen, and watch this. As the initial shot comes through, he's able to knock it down. He doesn't see it. He doesn't know where it was. And then all of a sudden, he catches sight of it at the very last minute right here, and he was able to shift over. What a great save by Wallen, because if he doesn't see the fact that that puck leaks out to the right, that's a goal, and Maple Grove's going to be up 3-0.
Bengals take the draw. Lager from the blue line. His bouncing puck settles wide of the net. Down at the blue line, knocked back in by Lindsay momentarily. Crimson trying to work it up ice. Got slowed down. Bengals a chance. Another bouncing puck. Lager just kicks around, eventually gets it back. Dumped it behind for Busick. Busick not under control with that feed up ahead. Brazinski. Track it back down. Brazinski straight through the middle of the ice, looking to the left for Lager. Brazinski bullies his way into the zone. In along the boards. Lager coming over to try and peel it off. And the Crimson take it away. Under 8:15 to go here in this 3rd period. Icing. Back to the Crimson end.
So a face-off inside the Maple Grove zone here with 8:13 to go. That's going to bring that number 1 line back out on the ice. And there's only so much time left for this number 1 line. So if you're Maple Grove, you're kind of playing this shift by shift. Anytime you can get a victory over this number 1 line, that's going to be a win. So you're almost taking it 30 to 45 seconds at a time. Just win this particular shift if you're Maple Grove.
Take us under the 8-minute mark. Zick trying to track it back, but it slides to Loftus. Loftus to Schoberg right side. Tries to pass in to Rickles ahead of that check. Didn't get it to him. Back to Zick. Up ice it goes and flipped below the goal line. Tapped there by Wallen. Crimson have it. Back it comes. Loftus trying to clear it out of the zone. Can't get it past Gunderson. Loftus leaves it. Bengals cross ice pass to Rickles. Hits him right in the skate. Can't do anything with it. Loftus all the way up ice. Bouncing puck to Hansen. Hansen one-on-one at the circle. Hansen fires the shot and saved by Winicky. Winicky could see it all the way, and it stays 2-0.
And Maple Grove hasn't made too many mistakes on defense, but that was one of them. They've been doing a good job of dropping back early and not allowing Blaine to get the puck up the ice. In that particular case, a bad angle by a defenseman on the far side of the ice allowed Hansen to get around and get a fairly rare open look at the net.
That line, though, off the ice, and here come the Crimson right back the other way with a 2-on-1 right side. Far down and in for Kernan. There's that third goal, and it makes it 3-rip in favor of the Crimson.
And Kernan, who was the hero of the semifinal victory over Centennial, picking up the hat trick, and now getting the pass on the 2-on-1. And we've seen the goaltender for the Blaine Bengals stand on his head throughout the night, Ryan Wallen, but just couldn't get over in time to shift over and stop Wallen, who picks up his 4th goal and his 5th point of this postseason.
So 3-0. Now the mountain to climb for the Bengals. Haven't put one to the back of the net yet. Trying to find a way to do it. Something they haven't done in the first 41 minutes of this game. Check that. 41 minutes already. Trying to find their way to it. Has to start now with under 7 to play. Slide all the way back down for the icing. More chances in this third for the Bengals, but not cashing them in and waiting too long to do so. Here comes that top line again for this draw.
It is really remarkable when you consider the fact that Kernan only had 7 goals in the regular season. He's already got 4 in this postseason. We talked in the pregame about who is going to be the hero, and we talked about Kernan in the semifinal. That was a huge goal as well for him here in this section final.
Brzezinski just through traffic, knocked into the near side post. Bengals had a chance at the first goal back in the first period. It knocked off the crossbar and out. Since then, it's been all Maple Grove. Brzezinski feeds it ahead again. Hansen trying to slap at it and send it netward. Under 6 to go. Hansen, around the clock he goes. Center it, Rickles, not to his stick. Brzezinski will dump it back down. Bouncing puck settles its way in to Winicky.
Well, and as a defender for Maple Grove, this is an opportunity. There's 5:46 to go. The fact is they can play so much more aggressive because of the situation that they're in, that it just makes the hill so much farther to climb. It seems sometimes like there are 7 or 8 players out there for the Maple Grove Crimson.
Walraff keeps it alive. Busick nearly picked the pocket, back to Walraff. Walraff looking for Busick and steered away by 3 of those skaters you were just talking about who swarmed in front. Now a 3-2 break, back the other way and sticked away by Wallen. Puck settled down by the Crimson. Centered back in front, but it goes off the side of the cage. Bengals.
There's a great example right there. Even though Maple Grove was with possession, pushing the puck forward, they still had 3 players back, so that if Blaine cleared the puck, there really wasn't anywhere for it to go, and it was an easy way to just stick it back out.
This puck on net avoids the icing. Schweiger trying to track it down. It's centered back again, looking for Skansen. He does enough to spin us under 5 minutes. Keep the Bengals from clearing the zone. Busick, up ahead it goes. Lager just gets out there to join his line mates as Schweiger sends that shot on net. 4:23 remaining. 3-0 lead, 1 goal in each period for the Crimson. Nelson, Giuliani, and Kernan. And the Bengals in miracle territory now with 4:23 to go.
And we may not be that far away if the Bengals are considering it of pulling the goaltender. It seems aggressive with almost 4 minutes to go, but they just have not been able to generate anything offensively here in this third period or throughout the game. And
loose puck, tipped up. Ryman couldn't get it to go. The light went off, but it was clearly up over the crossbar. Bengals still with possession. Another puck bangs off the backboards. Ryman trying to weasel his way to position there. Couldn't quite do it cleanly. Leafblad took it away. And the Crimson hang on to it. All the way back down the ice. It will be an icing. Just outside of 3:40 remaining. Here's that last chance that even triggered the light. Flipped up, just a piece of it for Winicky. He didn't get just a piece of that. I think that was all just lifted a little high from Ryman. Just the way the night has gone for the Bengals.
I think the net came off there. It did.
Walraff, Hansen, and Busick. The next up to try and solve it. All that top line can do is sit and watch. Crimson feed it ahead, and that'll just sneak into the corner for an icing. 3.5 to go.
This has really continued a trend for Maple Grove. We talked about it in the pregame, but their last 4 games, they're 4-0. They've shut out 2 opponents, and they've allowed just a goal and a half per game while scoring 6.2 goals per game. They've really been playing well. Their best hockey probably on both sides of the ice.
Well, best time to do it for a team who spent some of the year in the top 10. Battled and beat a handful of top 10 teams that ended up in the top 10 at the end of the year. Battle tested, and now here, proving it against the Blaine Bengals, who are in danger of scoring just 1 goal in their final 6 periods of hockey on the season. Free puck down the ice. Brazinski has to turn on the Jets to get there ahead of a sprinting Chris Kernan. Brazinski through neutral. Brazinski down to the deck. No penalty. Under 3 to go, down 3. Bouncing puck, freed out. Hansen from the blue line, slaps it, deflected down. Has to track it back after Zick hounds him all the way down the ice. Hansen up to Ryman. Ryman with Rickles. Ryman sends that shot in, sticked into the netting. 2:25 left here in this third period. And a timeout for the Blaine Bengals. Blaine down 3-0.
And so this is your opportunity. Obviously, the timeout comes here so that they can maximize their number 1 line here. Ryman, Hansen, and Rickles. And I mentioned it about a minute and a half ago. If Patrick Waugh had been coaching the Blaine Bengals, he would have pulled the goaltender probably about the 4-minute mark. But we'll see. It'll be an offensive zone face-off. I would, it's possible that Wallen may not come out of the timeout here with the rest of the Bengals.
We're here at Aldrich. We were here last year on the 28th when the Bengals punched their ticket to their 12th section title. Went to 6 state tournaments in a row from 2006 to 2011. Now here a year later, they're running into this Maple Grove team that is out for revenge, trying to beat the Crimson, or trying to beat the Bengals rather, for the 5th time in the last 9 postseason meetings. Highlights of everything we do available on SportsDen.
And Wallen will stay on the bench as a 6th skater will join the rest of the Blaine Bengals. It looks like Hunter Hansen, who's had a pretty good season. He scored a couple of goals this season against the Maple Grove Crimson, so he is the 6th skater out there, and he'll have the face-off after the draw.
2 Hansens A Ryman, a Rickles, and a Loftus, and a loose puck in front of the net. Bounces back out. Rickles trying to lift it in. It's still free. Bengals hacking at it. A lot of traffic. Ryman sends it in again. And eventually we finally get the whistle, as it's not even the netminder in the cage as it comes loose. But a huge team effort from the Crimson to keep that one out against 6 skaters hacking at it.
Well, I'm not sure where you could have put the goal. It was like a clown car towards the end inside the net. You had one player inside the net, and then a second player joins inside the net. Everybody was inside, and not much room there to score, even if they could have gotten a clear shot.
Still 6 skaters on the ice, and an empty net at the other end. Down 3-0. Loftus through traffic. Bouncing puck knocked down. Loftus just holds it in at the blue line. Tracks all the way out to Rickles. Rickles with space, takes the shot, it's deflected. Loftus again, snared through traffic by Winicky. That's impressive. All kinds of traffic in front, and he gloves it clean.
This is about as good as Blaine has looked all game long offensively, and Winicky is standing on his head here when it counts the most.
Helps to have that 6th guy out there, right? Makes it a little easier. Loftus nearly lost it. It is a loose puck. Bounces to Rickles. Rickles shot in traffic, and again, Winicky brings it to enough of a dead stop to get the whistle. Winicky in the regular season, a pair of shutouts. He's got 1 in the postseason, and he's trying to do it again here to get his team to a section title.
And there's very little time left if you're Blaine. I know the emotions are running high, but the last thing you need here would be a critical penalty that would basically wipe out any opportunity. Schoberg got into a bit of a pushing match, and it would take a lot to call it, but that would be the last thing you would need here.
Same 6 out on the ice for the Bengals. Desperation scramble time as that bouncing puck all the way down the ice for the icing. Just outside of 80 seconds to go. A goal in each period for the Crimson, and the defense has made it stand up so far. And on the backside of that defense, Jack Winicky, 43 of 43. A lot of those coming in this late flurry. Towards the blue line and free. Ryman up after the puck. Sends it cross ice. Wrapped around the boards. Schoberg pushed off the puck, but he deadens it, waits for Hansen. Under a minute to go, 6 skaters on the ice for the Bengals. An empty net scenario, and they haven't found a goal yet. This one bounces off the wall, a little more steam. That might have found the back of the net, but easy for Rickles to catch up to it. Rickles and this Bengal team, high hopes coming in, and just running into, as Nick mentioned, not really even a hot offensive team so much as a hot defensive team that knew the plan, stuck with it, and now the Crimson, the only question, will it be a shutout to crown them champs of the section? In goes Hansen, save from Winicky, pushes it across. Is that the last one he's got to make? Under 10, and it will be. Ducked in, no, just steered away by Schoberg, and that will end the game. 3-0 Crimson knock off the Bengals and are section champs for the first time in 3 years.
Well, you talk about all the different types of cliches. One of the most popular is how difficult it is for a team to win 3 times in a row. And for the Blaine Bengals, going back to last year, it was 4 straight victories over the Maple Grove Crimson. But they ran into Jack Winicky tonight, and he was not going to be denied. 43 saves tonight, 50 so far in this postseason. And this Maple Grove Crimson team, they were familiar with the Blaine Bengals. They were able to play them exactly how they wanted to. They really, really contained that #1 line. and they just never seemed to get going for the Blaine Bengals. They just didn't have the room, and when they did, Jack Winicky was able to do the rest. And so Maple Grove, the Section 5 AA champions.
And a tough way to go for the 11 seniors for the Blaine Bengals. A lot of these guys will keep playing hockey one way or the other, but when it comes to their high school careers, it comes to a close here on a Thursday night at Aldrich Arena. And this is a large reason why Jack Winicky, 1-0 in the one game he played in the postseason, only faced 7 shots. He faced a sight more tonight and was equal to the task every single time. Early on, he was giving up rebounds. Bengals couldn't capitalize. The rest of the way, Winicky just about untouchable, and he picks up the shutout, his 4th overall on the season. And the junior helps his team keep their season alive, headed to the state tournament a week from tonight. But a great season again for the Bengals. As you mentioned it, Nick, they're a team year after year that puts themselves in this position, a program that has done it. It's a little solace to those seniors we mentioned, but they can take pride in the fact that they've kept their program at the highest level, and they come up just a game short of that state tournament berth that everybody's working for all year long.
Yeah, without question, this is a team that tends to reload instead of rebuild, and they've got a good base to start with right in the nets, as they will get Ryan Wallen, just a sophomore, as he'll be back in net. Of course, Maple Grove as well. They've got a junior in Jack Winicky, so good bases. It all starts with goaltending in high school hockey, and so these two teams will both be heard from again, but tonight was Maple Grove's night. They really played well on both the offensive and defensive sides of the puck. Got a special teams goal with the power play goal. We talked about that early, how that first goal was going to be so important for Maple Grove. They hadn't had a lead all year against Blaine, and so they got it, and they never relinquished it here tonight.
Well, stick around for the medals presentation, and the Bengals up first with their runner-up finish.
Sophomore number 5, Dave Anderson. Senior number 6, Mason Streeter. Freshman number 7, Bryce Lauder. Senior number 8, Hunter Henson. Senior number 9, Zach Busick. Sophomore number 12, Nate Schaefer. Sophomore number 14, Finn Loftus. Senior number 15, Cam Schoberg. Junior number 16, Ben Walrath. Senior number 17, Carson Rickles. Senior number 18, Cole Hansen. Junior number 20, Jack Ryman. Senior number 23, Derek West. Senior number 24, Sean Schweiger. Senior number 25, Kaden Brzezinski. Junior number 28, Ty Muniz. Senior number 29, Braden Lindsay. Senior number 31, Jonah Simonson. And sophomore number 35, Ryan Wallen. Student manager number 21, Ryan Olson. I'm sorry, not Student manager Ryan Olson. 5AA runner-up team, the Blaine Area High School Bengals. Will the captains from Blaine High School please step forward to receive their second place trophy? And now, ladies and gentlemen, to present the first place medals and trophy for the Section 5AA champion, Blaine Crimson. Crimson, if you can hear your name called, please step forward to receive your championship medal. Junior number 3, Grant Zick. Sophomore number 5, Parker Wente. Senior number 7, Benjamin Leafblad. Junior number 12, Henry Nelson. Senior number 15, Tyler Oakland. Junior number 16, Ethan Elias. Senior number 18, William Peeler. Sophomore number 19, Joshua Giuliani. Junior number 21, Sam Jacobs. Junior number 22, Cal Thomas. Sophomore number 20, Jayton Fisher. Junior number 23, Jacob Hicks. Junior number 24, Matthew Gruss. Junior number 25, Ian Barber. Senior number 26, Spencer Dahlquist. Junior number 27, Chris Kernan. Freshman number 37, Landon Gunderson. Sophomore number 40, Sawyer Skansen. Senior goaltender number 32, Parker Slutsby. Junior goaltender number 1, Jack Winnicky. Student manager, Ryan Reed. And student manager, Callie Kolda. And the coaches for the Maple Grove Crimson, Todd Berglund, Tom Miller, and Tom Adolph. Ladies and gentlemen, the Section 5AA champions, the Maple Grove Crimson. And the Star captains, please skate forward to accept your 5AA championship trophy.
And the Crimson, the third time they claim section champion status, as they will add 2020 to 2012, 2017 in their trophy case and see what they can do starting next Thursday night at the XL Energy Center. 3-0, they beat the Blaine Bengals in a tough way, as always, whenever the season ends, to have it closed. But a good season for the Bengals, for all of our teams. Boys and girls hockey, that's a wrap on that. We've still got basketball postseason, plenty left to cover here in the winter. For Nick Walsh and Blythe Whaley, I'm J.W. Cox and our entire North Metro TV crew bringing you this one. Always fun to do it at Aldrich. This one goes the way of the Crimson, 3-0 and section champs. You watched it all right here on North Metro TV. Good night, everybody.